Oilers and Panthers, Caitlin Clark, and some parlay people. We're going to go over all those. Thanks for joining us on Props and Parlays today. I'm Andy from WagerTalk.com. Let's jump right into the hockey game that we have tonight on Monday, June 10th. And I think one thing we got to go back and just look at the box score from the first game. And man, is it a strange one. Obviously, the shots on goal is a strange one from the props betting market. So 17 shots on goal, for the Panthers. They didn't need it, and then obviously Edmonton goes on the full attack trying to catch up. They get 32 shots on goal. So obviously you're gonna see a lot of guys from Edmonton that went over their shots on goal prop, and the Florida Panthers guys only had one guy that got more than 3 or more than 2. So kind of a strange one from the shots on goal. So I don't know if there's a ton we can take away with it. Here are some takeaways that I will have. Tarasenko just keeps cashing this over 1.5 shots on goal. That is now 5 in a row. We've cashed on him a few games. If I'm betting one prop tonight, this is probably it. I will not be betting anything on this with my own bankroll. I've got a couple huge plays that I'm really in on this week, and I'll talk about those. But if you're playing something tonight, in my opinion, it's Tarasenko shots on goal. So I love this 1.5 number. It's not up to minus 150 yet. It's just one of those under the radar guys that just keeps cashing. So uh, a lot of these are also priced out of the range that we can play. I will tell you, Darnell Nurse is not getting it done. His number is 1.5, but you can play the under. This is hit in 5 games in a row. He's got 2 games in a row with no shots on goal. I mean, you don't expect that to continue, but this is a pretty bad slump here for shots on goal. So it's pretty bad when you don't have any shots on goal and your team has 32. So Darnell Nurse absolutely not getting it done. I don't know what his Yeah, I don't even know if you can get him to have a point or not. We'll get to the points props here in a bit. But yeah, shots on goal. I think the other one of note is that the books, they're kind of figuring out what to do with Sam Reinhart. I think this is probably the number you're going to see the rest of the series. We've talked about Reinhart. If it's 2.5 shots on goal, you take the over. If it's 3.5 shots on goal, you take the under. What the books have done, they put it at 2.5, but they're making you pay minus 175 for it. So this is unplayable in my opinion. So speaking of Reinhardt, we'll talk about him in assists. So points wise, I talked about this in game one, and it hit. It's doing the same game parlay of Evander Kane to not have a point, and you parlay that with the under 5.5 goals, and that got us an easy win, 3-0 win. So the under easily hit. Kane doesn't have a point. I'd said probably play this every game in the series. So this hit in game one, and here's where I'm kind of debating. I had this situation over the weekend where I was playing Scotty Scheffler under his individual round score. So we hit on Friday easily, and I could have just walked away with 1-0 on that play, taking the profits and left. Well, I played it Saturday and Sunday, and it bit me because he lost. Saturday was really frustrating. He lost on the last hole. He was on pace to be ahead. He was in the fairway. He hit the green. Then he had a terrible third putt, missed the par putt. We lose by half a shot. I come back and play it Sunday, and it's not close. So I had the chance to walk away with profits, and you guys know me. That's normally what I do. And I didn't. What I do, I gave away my profits and then some. It really hurt me from having a huge week. So if you hit Kane to not have a point and the same game parlay with the under, I think you can play it for the rest of the series. But if you hit it again tonight, I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe you walk away with 2-0. If you play it tonight and it loses, then you go back and keep playing it because it's plus money. So it's not that difficult to get to profitable throughout the series. But I do believe in that play, Evander Kane to not have a point and the under. As we saw, goals are just pretty hard to come by. You got good goaltending, you got tough defense. So that's how I would look at the points props. Looking at assists, I look like a complete idiot because I talked about how Sam Reinhart hasn't had hardly any. He's had one game in the last 21 games with an assist. Oh, you get him at minus 165. I think 4 minutes into the game, he had an assist. So always great when you do a video and you talk about a play that hasn't hit in forever and then it does. Guess what? I'd probably come back to it. He just doesn't have. I mean, you look at this chart here. Here, I'll zoom in a little bit. So you can see this chart here where If we do it to just points, yeah, he's got a ton of points. It's minus 190 over a point, but it's minus 166 to go under an assist. So they're just telling you that he gets all of his points through goals. If I lost this one in game one, I'd go right back to it, try and get your money back, and then just keep playing it consistently. But no, yeah, I mean, so this is 2 out of 22 games that he's had an assist. So yeah, that's what I would do with the assists. I did notice something interesting in the blocked shots category. First off, Evan Bouchard is doing a really good job with block shots. 7 out of his last 10. He did not have any, though. That is a function of not having a lot of shots on goal. So they weren't shooting a whole lot. Unfortunately, it's minus 175. So that's kind of a bummer. And then Forsling under blocked shots. They have it at 1.5. It's only minus 165. He's only done this one time in the last 10 games. So he had a big stretch here. You can see in the regular season, but this is only one time in the postseason that he's gone over. So Forsling under 1.5 block shot. That's kind of amazing considering how much Edmonton shot the puck. So we'll talk about saves here a little bit, and then we'll get into some of the bigger plays that I'll be playing this week, as well as Caitlin Clark. I think that's playable for her tonight. So we gotta look at the saves here, and obviously Skinner goes way under because he only made 15 saves. I don't know, man. If you're telling me that Florida's not going to be shooting the puck that much, but they're going to be scoring, yeah, it's an easy under on the saves. Does that happen again? Probably not. There's probably some regression, but I don't think I would take the over on Skinner. I don't think Florida's going to shoot the puck that much against Edmonton. So, and on the flip side, Bobrovsky flies over the total because Edmonton's in chase mode. So 24.5, not I would expected it to be more, to be honest with you. So I mean, you look at he's gone over in all 3 games against Edmonton. The last 2. Now, obviously, these 2 games, these were like literally last year in 2023, so you don't want to take too much away from it. But I mean, it's not nothing that he's had 26, 38, and 32 saves on this one. So yeah, I would look at Bobrovsky over if you're looking at anything here. So got to believe Edmonton knows it's go time. Don't want to get down 2-0. So maybe they fire a lot of shots and he ends up going over just on sheer volume. So that is what I'm looking at for the NHL game tonight. Let's take a look at Caitlin Clark props real quick. If I could ask you guys, just go ahead and hit the like button. Bing. Just go ahead and hit it right now. Bing. Helps me out. Helps the algorithm out. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you like in the NHL game tonight. Pretty interested to see what you guys have been hitting or what you like for this week. So I gotta be honest, man. Not a great week for props. Pretty decent week for parlays. Unfortunately, we don't have a Formula One race, but we do have a great golf tournament, the U.S. Open. It's going to be very bettable. There's going to be some really good things there. I talked last week about being low volume, and I was very happy with the volume that we had. I would like it. I think I would have liked it even a little bit less. And this week is going to be even less volume, but we do have our 5% play of the week. 5% cash last week. That was a cross sport parlay. Scotty Scheffler top 10, and we had Brad Katona on the money line in the UFC event. And I got to tell you, these one big plays a week, I am just loving. I just find the best parlay pieces, put them together, and I can do so much damage with just one play. Add to that, we had Xander Schauffele top 20 with Mercedes double top 10. That hit. So these cross sport parlays are rolling. What are we, 19 and 9? And this has just been a really, really good spot of income. So I'm liking the system that we got going where we're putting one big play up on Monday. And it's just kind of the one play that we're not going all in because that's not what we do with the bankroll, but there's really no need to sprinkle in a ton of other plays that ends up kind of, killing your bankroll death by 1,000 paper cut. So that 5% play is up. I would go grab it. It's over at WagerTalk.com. So you just go to the front page. You see me in a red shirt. What a surprise. I'm wearing a red shirt. Amazing. But yeah, you just click on that And the play is right there. Number one in cross sport parlays, 16-7 in the last 23, 81-51 lifetime in doing these. So these have just been fantastic. And that's a really nice last 2 weeks. We hit 4%, we hit a 5%, and the 5% play of the week is up. So don't hesitate. Grab that right now. Andy Lang at WagerTalk.com. That is going to be that's going to be my big one for this week. That's where I'm looking to get most of my profits from this week. So, all right, let's take a look here at Caitlin Clark. Actually, I'm just going to pull up Caitlin Clark's game log because she's bettable. All the controversy and all the all the drama and everything. Here's the thing: she's very bettable. You can predict what she's going to do. I don't know why they scheduled so many games at the beginning of the season for the Fever. I mean, look at this. So they play on the 14th, the 16th, the 18th, the 20th, 22nd, 24th, 25th, 28th, 30th, the 1st, and the 2nd. Like, what? Who made that schedule? So we were playing her unders. A lot of it was fatigue, man. And then they did her no favors here, playing her 40 minutes and 37 minutes. So we rode her unders for a while. I'm kicking myself because she had a 5-day break and she was playing Washington, the worst team in the league. And I was like, you know what? Bad game to take an under. Not only was I right, her over points, rebounds, and assists easily cashes. 30 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 7 of 13 from threes. So you can just see like fatigue is probably a real thing with her coming out of college and not being used to it. But she gets a fresh gets some fresh legs under her by getting this 5-game break, and she gets a great matchup. She plays 39 minutes and goes for 30 points. So you cashed her points over, you cashed her rebounds and assists over, you cashed her made threes over, you cashed her points, rebounds, and assists over. Here's the thing. Got a brutal matchup tonight. Connecticut Sun are playing really, really good. They just got handed their first loss of the season to New York. Those are arguably two of the best teams in the league. Maybe it's not even arguable. But look at what they've done since then, or before that. So held Washington to 59 points, Atlanta 50 points, Dallas 72 points, Phoenix 47 points. Feels like a really, really good get right spot for them. The Indiana Fever's team total is what, 73 and a half? I like the under. I think Connecticut comes out and plays some really, really good defense. Um, as far as Caitlin Clark goes, I'm not going to be rushing to bet her over. In fact, I think I would take her under here. She played Connecticut early this season and only had 25 points, rebounds, and assists. They're just so good on defense. That's the thing. They're so good on defense. So as even though Clark is rested a little bit, I just think the defense is going to be too much. If I'm playing Caitlin Clark tonight, it's an under. But I do really like that team total under the 73 and a half. So let's see. Couple of notable things that you could look at for parlays. It's not a great week for parlays. Parlay pieces are just coming out on the U.S. Open. I guess I'd say be careful with some of these parlay pieces if you're looking at like top 40s and stuff. It's a brutal course, Pinehurst. It's going to eat a lot of guys up. And once you get outside of the really elite guys, man, some of these guys can blow up. Stay away from John Rahm. Do not bet on John Rahm this week. He's been terrible in the majors, and now he's hurt. I guess it's an infection in the left foot. That's what they're telling us. I will say, I think, see, even Brooks Koepka top 40s minus 350. I'm just not sure if that's even good enough, a good enough price. So if I'm looking at some of the live guys, I also Tyrell Hatton. I've liked how he's looked coming over from live. Might look at him at minus 190 as a parlay piece, but again, I not getting to the window on any of these. Look at top 30. Colin Morikawa's coming along. He's playing really, really well. Ball striking looks good. His short game has looked good, and he's got a slew of top 20 finishes here. So Colin Morikawa minus 250 to finish in the top 30 on DraftKings might be worth a look. I haven't decided if I'm going to add that to official plays yet. And then if you're into international friendlies, soccer, there are a couple games. One today, the Netherlands over Iceland looks good. And then I like Greece over Malta. The minus 320 price seems pretty good. Malta's awful. I mean, would they just get beat 7-1? So Greece, I believe, what was it? Greece played Germany really tough. It was 1-1 for most of the game. They gave up a goal late, but that's a pretty good finish for them. So um, I'm by no means am I the big soccer expert, but if you do research, you might be able to find some pretty good parlay pieces. If I'm feeling frisky, I may throw something in with Greece over Malta, but I have not decided yet. Like I said, I am really working on really lowering the amount of plays, especially this time of year. So, really for us guys, it's the 5% play this week. So, if I have any more cross sport parlays, I will attach that to those. I will definitely have at least one more play, but not a great UFC week. Don't like the card a whole lot. There's only a few spots that I like. So, I would say this is a good week to take it easy on UFC. But what's great is you bring in a lot of profits with only a couple plays this week, and that's what we're going to do. So it starts with the 5% play over at WagerTalk.com. Number one in cross sport parlays. There's not many better plays going on WagerTalk than my cross sport parlays. I don't want to sound too cocky, but the numbers are the numbers here. We've hit these the last few weeks, so go grab that, and let's keep the volume down here a little bit. And good luck on all your hockey plays tonight. I wouldn't say it's a bunch of plays that that I would play huge, but if you're winning some action on the game, there's definitely some props that you can sprinkle on some really good angles. Again, I think Tarasenko is probably my favorite on that one. So not going to make the official card, but if you have to have something in the game, that's how I would go. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do that. Leave me a comment in the comment section. Let's keep grinding away. Thanks to everybody for joining us on Props and Parlays today. I'm Andy from WagerTalk.com. Good luck. We'll see everyone tomorrow.